everybody. Welcome,
Hello.
friends. Stephanie from Daytona Beach and
Hi.
Texas Dave. So glad to see you guys again.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us. This is
I'm
fun.
so glad. I'm wonderful, glad that you're here. So we were talking about either your funniest real estate story, your scariest, or your most embarrassing.
Do you want to go first,
Okay.
Texas?
My funniest, or not so much funny, is that I had a call from a past client who said her boyfriend was in town and wanted to buy a house. And that I needed to go over to his mother's house the next day at 3 o'clock to look at these 5 houses that I'd already kind of told her about. And went to pick him up, and it ended up being a gentleman named Dimebag Darrell with Pantera. And he didn't answer the door. Instead, this big guy named, I learned it was Big Val, answered the door, and he told me in a couple expletives that I better take good care of him or else.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't know who he was, so I take him out and show him the houses. I can tell he's been on, tell me he's been on tour. And I'm like, what do you do? He goes, well, I'm a guitar player. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he asked, can we stop at Guitar Center, which we have in Arlington? He wanted to, just, we were going past it. And I said, sure. It took us about an hour and a half to get out of there because everyone knew who he was and wanted his autograph. And I remember getting in the car and going, you're kind of famous, aren't you?
Here, wait, can you sign the MLS report?
Well, we ended up being great friends. But I really was totally, he said, no, it was actually great. That I wasn't starstruck. I didn't.
He probably loved it. He probably gets it
Yeah.
all the time. He was probably like, thank God, finally some normalcy.
Yeah. It turned into just a great, great friendship. And without going too far into it, they backed up Ozzy Osbourne for Ozfest in the group called Godsmack that had played. And afterwards, Darrell says, hey, you want to come backstage with me? And okay, I'm good. And there was a guy there who had with Godsmack, and he says, let's do shots. Okay, let's do shots. This is great. So being my normal realtor self, hey, who are you with? Well, Godsmack. I just watched you guys. You guys were great. What do you do? He was the lead singer.
Oh, I bet they love that. I bet you're their favorite.
And that's what Darrell said. He said, we're used to people going, oh my gosh. And here you are going, hey.
I don't know who you are.
And all I can say is people appear larger on stage, okay? So there's my kind of funny. And I did end up selling him a house and his brother a house, the bass player a house. And eventually became good friends with the whole band.
Oh, well, congratulations. That's a good story, Dave.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, I do like that.
I really don't want to follow that. Like mine's terrible. Let's see. I kept trying to think of something funny, but I'm not sure other people would think it was funny. So I'm not going to say anything funny. It's funny to me. Scariest, I had just started selling real estate. I was in like Altamont Springs, Orlando area. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know what I was doing. I got this lead. I don't even remember how I got him. His name was Chester. And I never met him. I didn't pre-approve him. I didn't do anything. I was like, yeah, I'll show you some houses. That sounds good. So we go and this guy pulls up and he's like, he has a really nice car. He's super nice. He comes out and we go to the front door and the door, like it's broken, like the glass is broken and it's open. And we kind of push it open. It's supposed to be empty. And there's a mattress on the floor and there's like needles. And he's like, he put his arm out with me. He goes, get back in your car. And I was like, in my car, and he walked the whole house and cleared it. He goes, okay, we're good. You can come in. But I was like terrified. I was brand new, didn't know what I was doing. My husband kept calling him Chester the Molester because I didn't know anything about him. So he's like, you're going to go show a house at Chester the Molester? You have no idea if he's approved? I'm like, I got to sell a house. I don't know what I'm doing. Sure. So I pulled up. I was terrified. But he was really nice. And we're still friends to this day. He bought the house, flipped it. He's cool. I still feel because now
I think that's a great story.
Yeah, I guess my funniest story, most recent story, was one of my teammates had a listing and I was showing it for them, and I dropped the key from the lockbox in between the front porch slats, and so anyway, bottom line, I couldn't get the key.
Oh no!
I couldn't get the key. Could not figure out how to get the key to save my life. So the client buyer, who had never met before, said, well, hey, I can hoist you in through this window. So I jumped on his shoulders.
What were you wearing?
I unlocked the door and everything I ended up getting the key, but it was kind of funny to be hoisted through the window of a client that I'd never met before.
That's so awesome. That's good. That's a way to build a relationship, man.
Yes, right. That's exactly right.
I hoisted Liz Merrick into the back of a car when she was too short to fit into it.
I love it.
I'm short too. But so what are y'all seeing in your real estate, in the real estate market in today's world? What is it you're seeing in Florida versus Texas?
Things have definitely taken a dip here. I had a really busy June. I had like 20 closings in June. It was probably my busiest month. It was really, really good. It has come to an absolute halt. Like no one is doing anything. I've listed this adorable house just down the road from me. It's 3.2, 425, pool, renovated, adorable, like 3 showings in like 3 weeks. It's out of control. It's really slowed down. I think it has a lot to do with the rates.
Yeah. So was your first quarter slow, or was your first like
fast? It was as good the first quarter. Coming into this one, it's just like, you know, like, yeah, my July and August are pretty slow. May was decent. June was really good. July is slow. I don't know. How is it in Texas?
Mine was inverse to that.
Oh, really?
First quarter was dreadful. Fourth quarter last year, dreadful. Yeah, second quarter, fantastic. Right now, houses are jumping off. I've sold, 4 in the last week.
That's great.
Right. So it's completely just flipped. I mean, fourth quarter last year, I limped over being diamond as a team. I thought I had it made, and it was like, oh my gosh, we didn't make it.
I made it for like $5.
Yeah, but I mean, we did better, but still, it was like, oh, and then first quarter, we had a bigger June than I had the whole first quarter.
Yeah.
In June was fantastic, but we are still, because of that, my numbers are down this year, but right now we're in a wonderful market right now.
Oh, that's great.
Actually, I'm seeing very similar to you, Dave. First quarter for us was so stagnant. Like I was in complete like freak out mode. Our numbers were just so off. Second quarter, super busy. Did slow down a little bit right now, but that's typical for this time of year with it being 4th of July and everything.
Right.
But I got 4 listings and all 4 of them under contract just in a week, which
that's awesome. Yeah, I feel like that's how I was in May and in June. And for Florida, a lot of people come down in the fall and they stay. They're here. So I've never really slowed down that time of the year. We're always busy with the snowbirds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know it's hot and it's summer, and I've got to remind myself, we've just been spoiled for the past few years, so it's hard to get your mindset back. And this is how the market is now. I've had to like re-educate people on how things.
Because it's like, I've been in the real estate 17 years, and it's the first time in 17 years that the market has shifted on a dime and shifted again and shifted again.
Right.
I cannot imagine being a new agent in today's.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I don't know how they would actually navigate through it correctly, but
yeah, I can tell you my team is, the people on my team, I'm carrying the team right now. All of them are kind of going, wow. I mean, they're adjusting now, but at first they all just kind of like deer in the headlights. Whereas I know, hey, just keep working, keep doing what you've always been doing.
Yeah, that's right. Keep doing the money making activities. It does come. You just have to lay the seeds.
So for me, yeah, I feel for newer agents because it is, they never really got, in my opinion, when I got in, it was very slow when I first got my license. So we had to dig and claw. So I learned to dig and claw. Whereas these guys all came in and just went, woohoo, Yeah. So now they're kind of finding out, I consider the basics, and they're having to really learn. I mean, not that they didn't know them, but they have to really, hone down on them.
That's right. So what about prices? What are you seeing your prices right now compared to last year?
Ours have shifted downward, not terribly, like not drastically. I think our median sales price last year was $357. I feel like that's kind of lower than I thought it was. I thought it was closer to $370, $380. But I'm sorry, I have it backwards. We're $350, and I think we're like I thought we were $370, $380, but when I pulled the report, it's like $350, and last year we were $357.
So it's about the same.
Yeah, it's about the same, but I feel like it's gone down a little bit, but not much. The homes are appraising. People are waiting for them to drop, but I'm like, this is the market now. Like the homes are appraising. They're there. They're going to continue to go up, just slower.
Yes.
Not like it did.
Yeah, and which is statistically what real estate does, right? I would tell people, anywhere from 1 to 3% appreciation per year. Who in the world has ever seen 30 and 40%?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I think people were thinking that would come back. I mean, I'll be shocked if it comes back anytime that
Not
the
at
next
that
decade or
speed.
two.
Yeah,
No,
right.
fast. No way.
And Dave, what do you see in your prices? Are they?
Same thing. We've seen about 2% increase.
Yeah,
Like I said, go back several months ago, and I was going, oh boy. Well, now the prices are back stronger than ever. We have basically a 1 month supply of homes.
yeah.
I mean, I looked, and what I did is I just ran the neighborhood that I work hard, and I did homes and then townhomes, just to separate them.
Yeah.
And they're identical. I mean, there is almost like exactly a 1 month supply of homes.
Has your days on market increased much? Mine nearly doubled from last year.
Yeah, but we went from like houses selling like hotcakes. Even last summer when interest rates went up, people were still buying.
Yeah.
Whereas now, it's I think it's like 42 days is the average now.
I'm at 42. I'm at 98.
Oh,
We're at 55 days, but that's still not. I mean, it is longer than it was last year when we were at 22 days. Now 55.
Right. So it sounds like different but the same.
Yes, very, very similar. And in our inventory, we have about 1.5 months supply, so it's still a seller's market. What about
very much?
Yeah,
we're about the same. I think we're closer to about a 2 month supply. We're about the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's your advice that you're giving sellers? Is there anything that you're doing differently to make their houses stand out, or is it pricing?
Pricing.
I think it always comes down to pricing. We didn't really have to do things like open houses, and statistically, we know that they don't sell the home. They're for new agents. So, we don't statistically do it, but I do a lot of 55 plus communities. I also service Ocala, which is a totally different market. So I'm talking numbers. I'm talking Daytona because that's where I'm at right now. But I also service Ocala, and I have people in their 70s and who remember papers, books, open houses. So they want me to do them, and I'm like, guys, that's not really how it's done anymore. But I'll do them to make them happy. I did like 4, not me, but I had 4 done like this weekend, on 4th of July weekend. So we're doing that differently. I'm just trying to tell them to hold out, just stick it out. There's peaks and valleys in real estate. We were at a peak, and right now I feel like we're at a valley, and we can only go up. So just hold out. If you want to sell it right away, then it's going to be a numbers game.
Yeah.
If you want to hold out, then just let's just see how this plays out. That's what I've been telling them. Be patient.
And the inventory is still low. I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what about you, Dave? What are you telling your sellers?
Well, very similar. I've been doing open houses again, but also I do them in a neighborhood that everybody knows me. So half the time it's just to meet sellers who the neighbors come in and say hi. But kind of my slogan has always been to people that, I'm a big believer in the free market, and it will talk, but you must listen.
That's right.
And, if you're getting no showings, you're overpriced.
Right.
If you're getting showings but no offers, you're slightly overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, there is no substitute for that. There is no magic wand that you wave. The market's telling you. So are you listening? I got on a house last week. I had it at $1.5 million. I just dropped it to 1.4 last week. I just told the guy, I said, listen, the market's not happening. Another house, it was working, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And also right before I got on here today, I'm getting a price reduction on another one.
Yeah.
No, but I agree with you. I'll tell them, I'm like, well, the market is telling us. The market. Yeah. So I agree. If you don't get any showings, I tell people your house is getting rejected before they ever walk in. Yeah. If you're getting tons of showings and no offers, they're rejecting it once they're inside. So
right. So either something is wrong or you're just a little bit where they don't want to insult you.
That's right.
So either way, the remedy is the same.
Right.
You must lower your price to get offers. You don't have to come down, because once somebody loves your house, it's easier to kind of be firm.
That's right.
I've been that guy who we found a house my wife loved, and I wanted to play games, and she was like, "You get me that house." So I always tell people, listen, a good uncomfortable night for most people will get them coming around.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's important to educate my sellers. Like, I show them all the marketing I'm doing from right off the bat. I tell them what I spend, where I'm putting it, what I'm doing. This is where it's going, so that when it does happen, if I know it's overpriced, I'm like, guys, I really don't think this is a good price, but if you want to try it, we'll try it and see how it goes. And then I can say, remember when I showed you all the stuff that I'm doing, it's definitely not an exposure issue. It's definitely not a marketing issue. The only other issue is pricing. And that really helps me talk them down. And we use Showing Time. I don't know if you guys do, and it has a pricing benchmark tool that I love.
I love Showing Time, but we went to Broker Bay, and we still have Showing Time, but it no longer shows us the damn.
Ours is the same, and I like Showing Time better for the stats.
Yeah.
I could show them how many showings were in that price range, regardless of whose it was. I loved that. I'd be like, the average is 12 and you're below average, or you're above average, or Broker Bay doesn't have that.
Well, it's so aesthetically pleasing and easy to read. I love it. I'm just like, hey guys, came in once a week. Here it is. Just so you know, we're still in the same spot. We really need a price reduction if you guys want to get some movement on your house. Like this is what the market's.
Agreed, totally.
But that was like last year at Luxury. My one takeaway was doing the price banding, to say in this zip code, these are your potential buyers, these are your real buyers, and do it by like 100,000 or 200,000, depending on the area. But Showing Time, we click Showing Time, and I cannot figure out for the life of me how to do it with the new system.
Oh,
same.
Yeah.
I play with it going, there's got to be a way. And so far, I haven't cracked the code. So
yeah,
system as you're talking about.
Broker Bay is the one that our area switched over and started using, and they suck.
Oh, I'll be so mad if they switch us.
I was going to be more diplomatic, but yes.
Do you have the same company?
Yeah, we had Showing Time. Now we got Broker Bay.
Yeah, I can't even get anybody from Broker Bay on the damn phone.
Oh no.
I don't know why it changed, but our whole system changed over, and there we are.
Yeah.
Did they vote on that, or they just did it?
I didn't get a vote. It just got sent to me.
Well, there probably was a vote by proxy, as far as whoever runs the board represents us. Yeah.
I feel like there should be a vote for all the agents.
I would agree. I have
paying.
I figured somebody was getting paid off for it, but that's just.
That's kind of how I looked at it too. It's somehow not me, but somebody was making money.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Yes. So what are you telling your buyers to do right now with the interest rates? The interest rates are what, like 6.7, I think, last time I checked?
Yeah, just right, hovering near 7.
Yeah.
I'm not having I've never had a problem with buyers on this. I'm just like, guys, no matter what, even at 7% interest, it's better than renting.
100%. And I try and tell them too, being married to a lender helps, because I can have him in my corner to help discuss things. But I'm like, you got to pick your poison. You're going to have a higher rate in a lower priced home, because sometimes the rates in the insurance here in Florida will price a person out of a house.
Yeah.
Sure.
So get the home while it's priced fairly, or when the rates drop, the house is going to skyrocket and you're going to pay more for the house. So pick your poison. I'm like, just pay. Do it now, refinance in a year, refinance in 6 months.
Yeah, I'd rather have equity. I mean, the bottom line is I want equity.
Yep. So do you want to pay more on the rate side where you can refinance, or do you want to have less equity in the home?
Yeah, I'd rather have the equity. I tell, and I also just tell them, listen, no one knows what's going to happen. But for quality of life, you are always better off to buy a home than to rent it. Just always. You can refinance it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's the best lifetime investment, right? For generational wealth.
Yes. It's always everything I do is generational wealth. I'm like, for my kids.
Well, and it's usually the first step on the ladder for most people. Buying a house and getting some equity is usually the first thing that they do that actually gets them into creating wealth instead of just spending money.
Yeah, my oldest daughter, which is not the one that y'all met this past time, because that was my youngest, but my oldest one bought a house 2 years ago, and she already has I think she has $225,000 in equity.
That's huge. That's life-changing.
Right. It is life-changing. I agree.
That's life-changing. She's all 23 years old. Hey, Jason.
Love it.
Yes, and happy 4th to everybody. Yes. Do y'all have any good 4th plans?
I'm excited to not put my phone. I'm excited to put my phone down. And I'm going to go to a friend's house. We're going to take the kids and go in the pool and cook some steaks. It's going to be nice.
Oh, nice. What about you, Dave?
It's simple. We just had family in from California and Florida. They all went home this morning. So tomorrow, my wife and I are probably just going to lay out by the pool and try to get our brains back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great having family, but it's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's like I consider it herding cats.
That's right. That was what I was able to take Saturday off, and we played on the boat Saturday, which was super fun. And then I worked all day yesterday and worked all day today. But tomorrow I'm taking off, and we love this island called Mesa Bar Island, which is a barrier island, 8 miles. You can only get to it by boat, but it's only a
Nice.
10-minute boat ride from my house. So
That's
it is.
amazing.
It's super fun. Now there's a section that will be wild and crazy for the 4th.
Mhm.
I will not be on that section.
Right.
My youngest daughter probably will be, if I had to guess.
There's a place. There's a place for everyone.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
We have an island here
I
called
love it.
Island, and it's like a big sandbar, and it's disappearing island. You park your boats up, you play. That is a party place. I can't bring my kids there. It gets nutty, but
Part of the, but this is big. I mean, there's a section of it, like I said, that the younger kids go to, and then there's definitely a section for, my age people. We're not going to say older, but not the younger kids.
A little slower crowd, not quite.
Yes,
jet
that's right.
set. Right.
So real quickly, so your buyers you're not having trouble with because interest rates, even though they're climbing, we realize that real estate is the best investment for the future and the most stable in the longevity of it. But you do, I mean, I'm having, and I don't, it's interesting, people that have bought and sold a home within the last 20 years are not questioning interest rates. It's my first time home buyers, my little ones that don't have a lot of money, that it is hurting them. But I mean, at the same token, you're right. It's like, do you want to fight that interest rate and just wait? But we know when the interest rates drop, we're going to have a multi-offer situation again. It's going to drive the prices back up. So I mean,
if they're paying like 22% on a credit card,
yeah,
okay with that?
that's exactly. Or paying rent, and our rent here is astronomical. That's
Right.
right. So then what advice are you giving your new agents, Dave? What are you telling your team to get them going? Or Stephanie, what are you telling your team?
Go ahead, Stephanie.
I've really not had an issue getting my team going. I am the luckiest girl in the world. I have a team of just really, really go get. I hire bartenders.
Yeah.
They're thirsty. They talk. They'll talk to anyone. They're little chameleons. That's
Hospitality.
best. I don't have to tell them anything. They want it. They go and they want it. Now with the buyer side, I just educate them the same way that I just told you guys. I was like, just talk to them about the difference with the rates and then the price per foot for the house, and just educate them. And they can usually talk some sense into them. So I've not really had to talk to them to get them going. They've all been busy and really thirsty. So
That's good. That's good.
No problem.
Dave, are you doing anything different with your team?
No, I mean, they've all kind of recovered. I mean, even though I'm the one who's done the most this year, they've all kind of weathered through it. One of them worked primarily with first-time home buyers. He's had a tougher time.
Yeah.
But he has shifted. I mean, I listed a house, 3 weeks ago, and talking about my son here, and he held it open that Saturday, and actually Friday night got a call and showed it and sold it.
It's
Wow.
He's very good at that. And the others have just kind of, now that they've adjusted it, they know what to say to people. And I'm like you, I have three others on my team that have all, the shortest one is 7 years. The longest one is 20 years this year. He started out as my assistant when he was a sophomore in college.
That's
my first one. My assistant was my first one.
Yeah. And then my current, I call him transaction coordinator. I call her boss is what I call her. She started with me 9 years ago when she was right out of high school.
Wow.
Going to junior college, now has her degree, and I've been able to hold on to her. So I have just a crew around me that I have total trust in. And so I feel like you. I feel so lucky that I have people that I can totally trust. They can trust me. I want to take care of them. I want them to stay with me forever if possible.
Oh my God, you sound like me. Everyone's like, oh, you're generous with you're bringing them on in this listing. Like, did they help? I'm like, no, but they have a slow month. So I'm going to bring them on the listing and I'll split it with them 50-50 because I want them to be happy. I want them to be here. I want them to learn. Yes. Alex is my admin. She's literally my boss. I ask her for permission for everything. Like I pay her and I'm like, I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sorry to bother you. Oh my God. Because she's the boss,
Absolutely. The admin are the most important people.
Mine, she's everything. She's my transaction coordinator. She's my admin. She's just, and I call her boss. She calls me chief.
Give her whatever she wants.
So I'll tell you, my every person is my oldest daughter, Allie, who is really big and pregnant. So I've been having major anxiety because she's worked with me for 9 years, and I literally, honestly and truly could tell you, I am terrified when she goes on maternity leave because half the stuff I don't know how to do, and I'm freaking out. But
I was gonna say you're terrified for good reason. You know?
yes, exactly.
Alex was on vacation for a week, and I was like, this girl does this on purpose. I didn't know my login for something. I'm like, Alex, I'm sorry to bother you, but I can't log in. And she's like, job security.
And she's right.
She was right.
Yeah, last year after mine took a vacation, she got a raise. As soon as she came back, I was like, you got a raise.
And please, can we just narrow down your vacations? Take more of them, just not as long, please.
That's
Right.
how I feel. 3 or 4 days at a time. You can take them several times a year. It's fine.
Perfect.
Otherwise, I drowned.
Yes.
That's so
Aw.
funny.
I love them.
Yes, absolutely. So then what's your projection for the year? Do you think it's, Dave, it sounds like you're projecting it to end strong, hopefully.
Well,
Or who friggin' knows?
who knows? I mean, our typical market is strong through about, August, and then it usually dips down from about mid-August to mid-September. That's when I usually go on vacation. In fact, this year we're going to Anna Maria Island in Florida at end of August, because I always find that there's a lull there, and then it picks up again for the rest of the year. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to think it'll continue like normal, but I'm still also being very careful on my spending and my, just watching everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds like both of your prices are, Dave, you're going up a little bit, like 2%. Stephanie, it sounds like you're kind of hovering over the same,
About
which
the
has got to be a lot better than it was 2 years ago. So, I mean, and it's still a seller's market. You still have low inventory. So
Right.
they're moving.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't anticipate much of a problem at the end of the year. Again, I do the 55 and over. I do a lot of the active adult communities, and that's when they come down. So I'm anticipating it to be slow in July for me, maybe into August. I really think it's going to pick up around September for us. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit of the slow after the craziness that we just had the past few months, and then just
Right.
Yep, I agree 100%. And I thank y'all for coming.
No,
Well,
I think
yeah.
I'm nervous. I don't like these things.
You did a great job. Nothing to be nervous about, right?
No, it was fun. It was good. Hi,
I-
Lauren. Oh gosh.
Thanks for having us on. Really
I'm
appreciate
so
it.
glad that y'all came. And y'all have a happy 4th of July.
Thank you. You too.
Absolutely. We will
Okay.
talk to you later. Thank you
Bye-bye.
again, guys. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.